Hello everyone and welcome back to French Boy. Now, as you can see, we are in the loading screen. That's because today I want to show you something else before we get into the retro builds. Now, as you can see, ignore the survival world, that's something else. I have a backrooms world that I've been working on. That's not what the video is about, but I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek before I do a tour of it. I might even do a tour with it with Mythtop and Definite there. Here is a map so far. A couple more notable locations are... Actually, no, I'm giving you one sneak peek. Sneak peek concluded. Alright, that's the backrooms sneak peek done. I'll give you a proper tour in another video. It's time for retro builds. But before that, I'm going to check on the comments of the last video. So if there's no comments, then I won't really comment on them, but I'm going to review the comments. There is a single comment, and it's from me. Okay, so no comments. Today I'm going to build something a little more basic. In the first episode, we built a little watchtower. In the next episode, we built a hotel. In today's episode, I'm going to build a little castle. So let's begin with the footprint. And there's the footprint. Now, how are we going to make this an interesting build? Well, for a start, there. Now we have an interesting footprint for the build. And you may have noticed, French Boy, why are you doing the floor before anything else? Well, because for this specific build, we're actually going to take advantage of an age-old thing called elevation. Too short. Now keep in mind, once more, this isn't a guide. You could use it as a guide, there's nothing stopping you. But I'm showing you my pure, completely messy method. Also, I do know the mic quality is awful. I do try to keep it in the same spot so it's mostly uniform, but there are going to be points where it cuts in and out a bit, so I'm very sorry for that. Yeah. Also, I can't do the Verity reaction video, so I'm really sorry to do that. I tell you what, 50 subscribers, and that's our goal. 50 subscribers so we can do the Verity thing live. Right guys, that is a very reasonable thing. So you may have noticed, French Boy, why are you doing it like that? Well, it's simple. We start by finding the spot here. And keep in mind, this is what I would imagine. And there you go. An entrance that's very easy to guard. Now, if this was cobblestone, I'm sure it would be a lot better, but it's not, so it isn't. But I'm sure you've noticed by now the way I'm designing this fortress. I say fortress, it's a little fort, but... Sorry about that. But anyway, I've given it a little lip. I am really sorry about the notifications. Yeah. And now what we're going to do, actually iron door I think will work for this. This is a fortress after all guys, so it's going to be very secure. Which means that the only way in is either a button here or a lever here. And I know it may not be the most accurate time frame, but if we put it as open, activating the lever, which means that when you press the button, it's non-active. Yeah, see? So now there is a lock on the door. Now I'm going to flip the lever to closed. Now a reminder, the castle won't be too tall because, you know, we don't want to take up too much space with the castle. Now, you may have noticed my gradual removal, gradual going away from the original live, the more, you know, ones in real life, the videos in real life. You may have noticed that I'm moving away from those a bit. This is mainly because the things I need to do non-live videos are much more easily accessible. Plus, it's a lot easier to just stop the commentary, like I'm going to stop it right now. Start it up again. It's that simple. Although, in case you can't see the mute thing, it was I muted for a sec. So if there's a problem, I don't have to cut it out in the editing anymore. Anyway, enough about the videos. Let's go back to the castle. And there we go, the last floor of the castle. Well, except for the tower, but nobody cares about the tower, let's face it. To be honest, considering how short this video is compared to the others, you might get a bonus build that's not retro. Yeah, bonus build for today's video. How to build basic houses that you can just use to dot around the landscape and make it feel a lot more crowded. Now we're going to start by adding crenellations to the tower, the castle. Now you may be wondering what crenellations are. Well, if you're American and have no idea, because you don't have castles, this is what crenellations are, the little nubs on the top. Now, a smart thing to do is to put one on each corners thing, or in the case of the tower ones, put them there, there. I'm doing so well. And again, the door method. Oh, I know we do. And since we know that ladders did exist back then, we're going to add a ladder to the tower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that looks good. Put one on each corner. There we go. And that's lovely. Now keep in mind, I doubt anyone ever actually built this. In fact, most of these things have never been built because there's probably a couple inaccuracies. Remember that this isn't 100% accurate. I'm going off of what I think is the block palette, and also off of the original construction guidebook. But it does give it a certain feel. And there we go. That is everything that's not too important done, and now time for the decorations. Red beds, crafting table, furnace, and chest. We'll start at in the basement and go up. So in the basement, there would be prison room, because one block that was in there at the time of 1.8.8, according to Eclocraft, was obsidian. So what I'm going to do is inside the fortress, is put a little prison room in there, because you never know if you'll need a prison or not, and it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Simple 1x1 prison room is good. Keep a guard there and you'll be good. Now you may have noticed this little abandoned bit. Don't worry, I did as well. Now that's about the biggest size I can do for the prison. And we will give them a furnace because I'm nice. And we'll also move the torch on top of that. And here will be just some utilities. Don't mind this one random chunk. It's our little secret. Here will be the first bedroom. Crafting table, furnace, crafting table, and then chests here. And that is the second floor done. Onto the roof area. And in this particular one, there's not going to be much here. A bed. And there we go. That is a fully usable, a fully functional little castle in Minecraft. And just like that, episode 3 is officially complete for the thing. I'm going to check how much this video is done. 12 minutes. To extend the time a little bit, I'm going to show you how to build a house. So, the thing you need is any slab of your choice. Alright, I'm going to do a basic thing, but remember, you can swap these out for anything you want. So, I'm going to do stripped oak logs and cobblestone slabs for the floor. I'm going to do birch planks, and the door will be spruce. And then, you know, the basics: white bed, furnace, and chest. Now, any of these can be swapped out for whatever you need. We're also going to use a lantern in this case, but you could very much just find a way to put a... So that is our block palette for today. Give you a little bit of time to try and prepare it, so pause now if you want to have the thing. Okay, I'm assuming you've had enough time. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to do two houses, a diagonal and a regular. So let's start off with the regular. So start off with this floor plan. Alright, next up, replace all the floor with your floor block of choice. It should look like this. Now I'm going to remove the furnace from the palette for a sec to have a window. Actually, I'll take the lantern away. Now you may be wondering why I'm doing that. Well, after you're done, you have to figure out the array immediately. So maybe you want to do a chest on top of the thing, and then there we go. Sorry about that. Alright, so once you have the interior and the windows decided, what you want to do is go for 3 blocks tall on the wall in total. Now, if you're using if you're using planks, put the door or remove this piece of wood, keep it. Don't put that piece of wood there, and then have a stair block up there instead. But if you're using logs, that doesn't really affect you. So you're going to do that. And there you go. And now for your roof block of choice. This is normally the harder part, but it is definitely possible in survival. I've done this in many survival worlds. You do this, and then you just make the roof go up and up until eventually you reach completion. The last step is to add a lantern. Now, in this case, we're going to finish the whole thing and put the lantern here. You could put a torch here. And just like that, bam, a nice little starter house. 2 windows, everything you need. Okay. You'll excuse me, I'm going to cordon off this area for YouTube tutorials. We're going to use copper to cordon it off. Wow. I'm probably giving myself way too big of an area. But notice how it's not oxidized. It's regular undone. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to leave this here. This will actually age with the YouTube thing. So if the YouTube thing manages to go to the point where all of this is fully aged, that's a win. Alright, now bonus points for your house if you find if your furnace and crafting table are swapped. If you do your thing exactly like this, if you change a couple things and put this here, you can also have a chimney. I would recommend 1 block, as that's enough to make it look fine. 2 looks a bit weird, so 1's my recommendation. Alright, and now it's time for another design. In this case, I'm going to go with something completely random, because you really can make this look good with almost any block. So we're going to go with wool. Let's go with wool as the main block. The door will be copper. The roofing block will be polished tough slab. And what else do we need? A floor block. And the floor will be cobbled deep slate, along with the other things. Let's begin our diagonal house. So for a start, you want to lay down this shape. Then 1, 2, 3, and then however long until you feel. So for example, in this scenario, maybe adding, for example, making it this instead is what you'd rather have. But in our case, we don't need that. So once you have your house layout decided, choose a location for the door, put your floor block in, but make sure to put the floor block where the thing was. Unlike the other one, you can't use stairs for this one. So once you're done, you build up your walls until 3 blocks tall again. Now, it may not look like it, but you should also put it here. Notice how it makes it look like a double door, but it also fits the thing perfectly. That's the point, that's the goal for that. Alright, now for the slightly more challenging part. You have to decide where the interior thing, we're going to go with a black bed this time. Furnace, crafting table, and a chest. And there we go. There's your bed, double furnace, and a double chest, along with a crafting table. And there's even room for some decoration. Now my recommendation, always go with full block windows. I would recommend one here. And there you go. Once that's done, all you have to do is roof over the thing. Now these houses can fit in. And remember, this is an atrocious colours, an atrocious block palette, but it's just as this thing, because even a weird house like this still works with this design. Now, if you really want, due to the way the diagonal house in this specific tutorial is, you can change it like that. So you can have the roof block, the floor block show up as a roof block. And there you go, your fully diagonal house. Complete with lighting. Alright, that should be enough to help you. How much is left of the video? It's been about 20 minutes, give or take. Alright, thank you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell.